What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you are subscribed by now. But anyway, today's video is going to be me twisting my hair and talking to you about breastfeeding. So if you're interested in my thoughts on breastfeeding, then keep watching. Let's get right into this video. Okay, y'all. So as always, I have my video notes because number one, my memory is terrible, and number two, because I'm actually trying to twist my hair right now and I don't want to lose focus. So basically, the first thing I want to answer is why I chose to breastfeed. So long story short, it's mostly just the health benefits. Breastfeeding is like the perfect mix of vitamins, proteins, fats, everything that your baby absolutely needs to grow and develop on track. So that was my main concern. Like, I just wanted my baby to have the best, and I knew what I produced would ultimately be better than formula because that's the way that God intended it. So, not a real big fancy scientific answer, just kind of my nurturing side. As far as these twists goes, I am using Yaya's Creations shea butter, and I'm also using the oil that comes along with it. So that's just that. I'm just using it as a twisting cream, and I'm putting the oil on my scalp in sections. So yeah. Also, breastfeeding provides a lot of antibodies that help fight off bacteria, infections, viruses, everything. And breastfeeding also lowers the chances of your baby developing common ailments like asthma, allergies, ear infections, and the obvious, it helps with less hospital visits. Because if your baby is super healthy and you're giving them all the nutrients they need, you won't be going to the hospital. So boom. So that's another reason. And then for mommy, breastfeeding also allows you to burn so many calories. As a matter of fact, you can burn up to 500 calories a day alone by breastfeeding. How amazing is that? Literally, your body is so unique and so thoroughly crafted. Like, you have a baby and you feed the baby from your breast, and you're losing that baby fat as you feed and provide for your child. That's absolutely beautiful. So it does help you lose weight faster, and it releases oxytocin, which helps with the shrinking of your uterus, which leads to like less bleeding postpartum. So yeah, as a matter of fact, after I had the baby, that was one thing that the doctors and nurses were pretty shocked by, like how little bleeding I had. It was kind of like just a regular cycle, if I may. Hopefully that's not TMI for anyone watching, but yeah. So it also helps with that. And it reduces the risk of breast and ovarian cancer. So it's just all benefits in my opinion. I honestly don't see any cons aside from the fact that, I mean, like, you can't drink alcohol or whatever. You know, it's certain restrictions, but I mean, who cares about stuff like that when you have all of these good benefits from it. So also, the big shebang for me is saving time and money. So I did not have to wake up in the middle of the night to go make a bottle. Just roll over, whip it out, and do what I gotta do. And I didn't have to worry about WIC. I don't have to worry about running out of, the WIC monies or whatever, and having to pay for the formula out of pocket, because formula is so expensive and what I produce is free. So yes, that was also another plus for me, the time and the money. How do you know if you are making enough milk? You are making enough milk. Day one, your baby's stomach is the size of a cherry. Now, I don't know how many of y'all eat cherries, but cherries are so small. I don't even know if they're a full inch in diameter, honestly. Cherries are like literally this big, if not smaller. So your baby's stomach is the size of a cherry when they're first born. That's like a half a teaspoon. Yeah, half a teaspoon. So when you're producing your initial milk, it doesn't take a lot to fill up the baby. That's why they eat so frequently, because their stomachs are so small. So they fill up real fast, and then they excrete it, and then they fill up fast again, and they excrete it, and repeat the cycle. Day 3, your baby's stomach is the size of a walnut. Also relatively small, not too much bigger than the cherry. Week 1 is like an apricot or plum. That's the size of your baby's stomach. So at that rate, at week 1, with the size of a plum, the baby's only able to hold 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of milk. So you're doing good, mama. As the baby's stomach expands, your production increases. So don't worry about it. Trust your body. So just another tip, by the time your baby is 1 month old, he or she,
what?
His or her stomach is only the size of a large egg. So if you purchase large eggs, you can imagine the size of that. So honestly, like, trust your body, because your milk supply grows with your baby's stomach. Okay. First milk. The first milk you produce is called colostrum. And you can have colostrum anywhere from days 2 through 5. And basically, colostrum is filled with immunity boosters. It's literally power packed. You don't have a lot of colostrum, as I stated before, because your baby doesn't need a whole lot. They have super, super tiny stomachs. So initially, it's not a lot, but it's power packed. It's immunity. It's a laxative that helps for babies pass the first stool, which is a little hard for them. It prevents jaundice. It coats the stomach and the intestines. It prevents germs from causing illnesses and inflammation. So colostrum is the stuff. It is perfectly formulated for your baby. And if you guys are wondering why I'm using clips on my twist, I'm only doing it on the ones that are close to the edge line to keep them laying down. I don't like gel my edges down initially. I tend to do that when it's time to style. So yeah, just work with me. Keep following along. This is a breastfeeding video, not a hair video. I just so happen to be doing my hair and needing to record a video. Okay. Week 2, or really the end of week 1, you are introduced to transitional milk. And transitional milk is just colostrum, a mix of colostrum and your mature milk. And it comes in anywhere between days 3 and 5. So if your colostrum starts to decrease and you notice a more liquidy consistency, then you know you are hitting your transitional milk. And this milk, like I said, is still pretty much colostrum, but it is introducing what your mature milk is going to produce. So your mature milk is a combination of fore milk and hind milk. Fore milk is basically water. It is very liquidy. I'm not gonna say it's water, but it's watery. It is, your fore milk is designed to quench the baby's thirst, and then you come in with your hind milk afterwards, and that is a thicker consistency, and that's where all the fats are, and that's what is going to keep baby good, happy, and full. So you tend to get your mature milk about 2 weeks postpartum, and yeah, that's what's gonna put the weight on the baby. Talk to me about supply. How do I keep my supply up? Breastfeeding, in layman's terms, it simply follows the rule of supply and demand. So if you took economics, then you can easily learn how breastfeeding works. The more you breastfeed your baby, the more milk you'll make. So that's why it's very important, and lactation consultants will tell you that they recommend you not pump to establish your milk supply, and that basically goes into your to the supply and demand. You want to be consistent in telling your body, we need to take care of this baby. So when you do that, your body responds. Your body's like, okay, I need to produce this, not just today, not just right now, but every single day. And on top of that, the baby's stomach is growing. So you're adjusting that supply as the baby grows. So the key to keeping your milk is to keep letting baby latch. And what my rule of thumb was, every time Bryson cried, I offered him to nurse. That was the first step I always did. It didn't matter what the cry sounded like. I always offered the boob first. And that really helped establish my supply. And then if he rejected the boob, then we moved on down the list to see if he was warm, cold, wet, dry, whatever. But that was kind of my rule of thumb. I just let baby nurse on demand. And then if he didn't want to eat, I figured out what else was wrong with him, or what was the root of him fussing. But aside from that, if supply and demand, or if the nursing more is not helping you, there are credible and reputable companies that do produce supplements for you. The absolute only company I recommend is Milky Mama. Milky Mama is a Black-owned supplement company. I don't know what it's called, but basically it's a nurse, and she was breastfeeding herself, and she decided to learn to make homemade treats and drinks and things like that to help keep her supply up, boost her supply, and establish her supply. And she ended up making it into a business, and with her nursing knowledge and her learned and acquired knowledge from actually having a baby and nursing the baby, she developed this company called Milky Mama. She has lemonades, milkshakes, cookies, brownies, and she actually has a oil that you can place under your tongue, and it is the truth. And I have tried almost every single product, not necessarily because I felt like my supply was plummeting. I more so did it just to see if it worked, I guess. I think at one point I ordered something because I felt like my supply was dropping, but it was definitely a false alarm. But initially I ordered it in the hospital. That's what it was. I was so determined to breastfeed that once I was in the hospital and Bryson latched for the first time, I went crazy. I went straight to her website because I was all about educating myself my entire pregnancy. So I was actually in the hospital bed, and I just told Brian, I'm about to make an order because I'm breastfeeding this baby, and nothing was gonna stop me. No ifs and buts about it. So that's how I ended up ordering Milky Mama for the first time, and I did not need it when I ordered it, but I really enjoyed it. The drinks taste super good. They do not taste like anything like medicinal or herbal. It is very tasty. The lemonade tastes like lemonade. It's not super sweet, of course, but it's delicious. So I do recommend that. And also, water is key. If you want to produce, and you want to produce effortlessly, I recommend drinking as close to a gallon of water a day as possible. That is super helpful. Also, you want to make sure you're nourishing yourself, because you can't produce for someone else if you're not feeding yourself. So I do recommend watching your diet. You don't have to be on a diet, but I would just watch what you feed yourself, because what you feed yourself does indeed reach your baby. So the healthier foods and the best shape you keep your body in does help and aid in your supply. So I would recommend that. And I think that's it as far as supply. Oh, I don't know if this is proven like Milky Mama, but some moms do resort to body armor. The only one I would recommend is the peach mango, because it's 0 added sugar. So You know, like I spoke about in the beginning, you also want to lose that baby fat. So you don't want to just be eating and consuming a whole lot of bad stuff or sugary things like that, because you want to lose the baby fat. So the peach mango, it tastes really good. I liked it not because it necessarily gave me a boost in supply, but it kept me hydrated. So I definitely did that when I was tired of drinking the water. I didn't stop drinking the water, but just to give me another flavor or something else to focus on instead of just drowning a gallon a day. That was a really good substitute. And what I did, well, what Brian did, he would always make me smoothies with the peach mango body armor. So that was really cool. But the bottom line for a supply boost and to keep it going is to latch or pump. If you're a pumping mom, as long as baby is getting that milk. And I also want to throw this disclaimer out there. If you don't want to breastfeed, that's totally okay. And you shouldn't let anyone make you feel bad about that decision. If you cannot, and sometimes for your sanity, it's best for you to give baby formula, and that's okay too. I would just urge you to research, because at the end of the day, you as that baby's caretaker, it is your responsibility to ensure that everything that baby consumes is beneficial for them. You signed up for that when you had a baby. So I would definitely recommend, if you do not prefer to breastfeed, or if you're not able to for medical reasons or whatever the case may be, just research and always fact check for yourself. Don't ever take anyone's word. Just always fact check. So I think that's all as far as breastfeeding goes. I am, as of today, we are almost 11 months exclusively breastfed. We have started solids. Okay, twist. Okay. We have started solids because I do plan, emphasis on plan. I do plan to cease breastfeeding at the 1 year mark. Ooh, these edges though. I do plan to cease breastfeeding. So we have introduced Bryson to solids, but we are still journeying on, and I honestly don't know how I'm going to stop. But y'all that will be another video, another topic. So I will let y'all know how that goes with me deciding to stop at 1 year. My goal was never to go 3 years, honestly. I honestly didn't have a goal. I knew I didn't want to be breastfeeding long. I think initially I said when he got teeth. And then he got teeth. And I was like, well, it's okay, So just trust your body, trust yourself, and trust baby. Most of the time, baby will wean themselves. But if you're on a shorter schedule than baby is allowing, then do you, mama. You know what's best. So, yeah. My now plan is to stop at the year mark, or start decreasing at the year mark, I'll say, because I know I can't just stop cold turkey as much as I say I'm going to. I know that's just not feasible. So I'm just going with the flow, y'all. Whatever happens, happens, but I really want to start weaning seriously at the year mark. So, and if anyone is wondering, I do not plan to feed him whole milk, so we will make another video about that as well. I do plan to use either almond or oat milk, but I'm not thoroughly done researching that, so this will be a journey that you guys can venture on with me, so that if you are breastfeeding and you want to pursue the same thing, that you will have someone that went down the same road. So I do plan to double back with another video on that. So I think this is coming to an end, guys. I'm gonna finish my twist up, and I guess since I'm twisting my hair, I can show you like an after, but that's all for now. Also, when your baby is sick, they can send signals to you through their saliva so that you can produce more illness-specific antibodies. Okay, y'all, this is the final look of my twists. Again, with Yaya Creations Chebe butter and her Chebe oil. That's all for the breastfeeding video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. More content is coming. So just to reiterate, I have these clips on just so my edge line can be tight and right, so I can use minimal edge control because ain't nobody got time for that. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.